Gents, welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Sean C. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about how Black women were fooled into destroying their own community. And listen, let me say that I came up with tonight's topic because I was watching another YouTuber and they were talking about this from a different aspect. So I'm going to play a short clip or a short part of the video from Please Act Right. Y'all might know Raul from over there. Shout out to the channel, Please Act Right. And I already had this video folder curated. Though when I saw the beginning of his video, it made the video clips I'd already compiled weeks ago or a week or so ago, it made it seem and feel more relevant. So I figured I wanted to talk about this, and I want to make sure I clarify something before we get started. The point of tonight's video isn't to necessarily crap on Black women. That is not my intention. My intention is to first show you guys, take you guys down a story path. And then I'm going to show you at the end of this live stream, or at least towards the video portion of this live stream, I am going to reveal that it's not just Black women who have fallen for the okie doke, okay? That is my intention. My intention is to show what's going on and to then show and expose a deeper narrative. So I hope you guys will bear with me tonight. There'll be no memes of the day. There will be no comments of the day. We're going to go through these videos expeditiously, okay? Now, the other thing is we have a couple announcements to make before we get started, so I hope you guys bear with me, okay? If you guys are not aware, all right, let me get my banners right? If you guys are not aware, in the description section below, I have recently put out my brand new ebook. The book that I've been telling you guys that I was going to write and put out is now available for sale. And let me tell you, I first wrote this book as a fitness story, but as I read through it, I realized it's not just a story of fitness. The new book, From Skinny Kid to the Sensational Gent, is about motivation. It is about developing these principles and these skills that I've acquired over 2.5 decades that I put in book form, that it helped me to successfully complete my military career. And that's me humbly saying, okay? And you're talking me having taught or been in charge of over 2,000 sailors that have come across that were directly in charge, that I've been directly in charge of. Also, all of the fitness programs that I've run, all of the programs I have touched and made better, all of this knowledge that I've learned, I poured into this book, along with personal stories. And it will tell you how I went from a skinny kid, from a skinny kid walking around Pebble Walk, in Louisiana, to the man that I've become. And I've done a lot of things that have been successful, and I know there's a lot more that I will be successful in doing because of the principles that I learned in this book. And I am grateful to the men and the women who have helped me along my journey to get to where I'm at today, and who will help me to get to where I'm destined to be. All right? So that book, that link is in the description section on the channel. I've been putting it in the descriptions of my most popular videos, and it's also located on the channel page. Okay? So that I hope you guys will check that out. The other thing is too, I am going to make a product guide available. So anybody who sends a super chat tonight, no matter what the amount, I am going to send you a free product guide. Okay? So if you are willing, the book has 4 guides in it, 4 bonus guides. I'm going to send you one of those guys guides for free for anyone who super chats this evening. All right. And that's how we gonna kick that off. All right. I am grateful for each and every one of you guys for being here. Please do me a favor. If you have not hit that like button, do so. And we're gonna get straight into this. I have a lot to discuss. So again, I'm gonna make time for the super chats. And then but we got to get through this. So this is from the channel Please Act Right. This is the video clip, or the beginning portion of his video is what inspired me to go with this topic tonight. So let's check it out.
Hey, this is Raul of Please Act Right. And here we go again with the black men who date or marry outside their race. There's something wrong with him, and he dislikes his own race of women.
Okay, so when black men who gain success, influential black men who gain success, like rappers, for instance, and they date white women, it sends a message to black boys that black women are not good enough. We are only good enough to support them, to give birth to them, but we're not good enough to marry and share our wealth with. That's what black men are saying when they gain success.
So where are your videos about black women who become successful and marry other than black men? No shade against any of the black women I'm about to mention. I wish them all well, and if they decide to marry outside their race, that's their business. I'm just making a point. Did you make a video about black women like the comedian and TV show host Lonnie Love, who according to Google has an approximate net worth of $1 million? Of course you did. In 2018, she married James Welch, a non-black man. Where's your "she disliked black men" video on her? How about Garcelle Beauvais, who is best known for her starring role where she played Fancy on The Jamie Foxx Show, who according to Google has an approximate net worth of $9 million. She first married a black man named Daniel Saunders in 1991, but later divorced him in the year 2000. And the following year, in 2001, she married Michael Nyland, a non-black man. Where's your "she disliked black men" video on her? How about Alfre Woodard, who's best known for her role in Love and Basketball, where she played the mother of Sanaa Lathan's character, who according to Google has an approximate net worth of $13 million. She married Roderick Spencer in 1983, a non-black man. Where's your video on her? How about Eve, who's known for being a successful female rapper who reached #1 on the Billboard 200, making her the third female rapper to accomplish this feat, and was certified double platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, who according to Google has an approximate net worth of $13 million. In 2014, she married Maximilian Cooper, a non-black man. Where's your video on her? How about Diana Ross?
All right, I'm gonna stop that right there for a second. Let me bring myself back up on screen. So the reason why I wanted you to see that is because there is a lot of hurt and animosity toward black men who date outside their race. And if the woman isn't a black woman, they consider them white. That's pretty much the basis of it. This is not me to talk about race. This is me trying to prove a point to first just show that how there is disdain for black men who date outside of their race. Whereas when black women do it, they have no problem with it. But I want you to see this next part of Raul's video because it also highlights a point that we need to look at before we get into tonight's video. So please bear with me here.
Name is black men. Woman, please. If black women can do it and you have nothing to say, then when black men do it, keep that same energy. And just so you know, there are black men who become successful and are married to black women. Lorenz Tate, who according to Google has a net worth of $2.5 million. He married his black wife, Thomasina Parrott, in 2006, and they're still together. O'Shea Jackson Sr., better known as Ice Cube, the rapper from NWA turned actor, which most people remember his start in his film career as Craig in the movie Friday, and then went into film producing, who, according to Google, has a net worth of approximately $160 million. Ice Cube has been married to Kimberly Woodruff since April 1992.
That's a long time.
Married. What about the actor Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, he talks about his wife all the time.
So many different films, it's too many to list. Who, according to Google, has an approximate net worth of $260 million. In 1980, he married actress and producer LaTanya Richardson, his black wife, and is still married to this day. And since she mentioned rappers, how about the rapper Killer Mike, who according to Google has a net worth of approximately $5 million. He married Shauna Rayner in 2006, and they're still married. By the way, Killer Mike said he wanted to buy a new car, but Shauna convinced him to buy a $250,000 10-unit property, and today it's worth $650,000.
You know what I love about that part of the story, right? This is the thing. Men and women need each other. And the fact that he had a good woman that stopped him from spending his money on something stupid and said, yo, let's invest in this, right? And she was able to what? 3x his income or 3x his investment? That's what we should be doing. But I don't want to get too deep in that because there are enough that we need to talk about tonight. Again, shout out to the channel, Please Act Right, and Raul. That's a good brother. I've definitely seen a number of his stuff. But we're about to get into tonight's topic. So I didn't want to play that. You know, if you get a chance, go to the channel, Please Act Right, and watch that full video. It is good and it is insightful. Now, I wanted to first talk about how black men catch crap for dating outside their race, but it's yes, girl, yes, queen, when black women date outside of their race, okay, or of our race. So I wanted to first start off to talk about how about the most hated group, the most hated demographic. But before we get there, right, I want to get to this section again. I'm not going to be able to stop too much because I have a lot to discuss tonight. Shout out to the gents. Again, if you go ahead, anybody who sends me a super chat tonight, I will send you a free bonus, one of my bonus guides for my brand new book. Link is in the description. It's pinned to the top of the chat. So please check it out if you get a chance. But I want to give a shout out to the gents, guys, because you guys, without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I'm going to run through this quickly. Shout out to Preston. He said, yo, Sean C, TSG, Mo Money. Homies, thank you for being here. Okay. How much does it cost? Right now, it is approximately $25. Okay. 25. And I've been working on this thing for almost a year now. So shout out to Ennis. He says, yo, from a skinny kid to Professor Muscles. Yeah, man. I try. Yeah, I think hopefully I fixed the connection. I plugged the cord in. It wasn't in. So, yep, just hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. I put that in there. I saw the video too. Can't stand entitled women like this who would want to marry loose ends. Genuine. Thank you for being here. Black women could go kick rocks. I'm done to mentally disturbed. You know what, man? That's your choice. You know, my intention isn't for you guys. Again, I feel like I got to say this every week, but my goal isn't for you to hate women. My goal is for you to be able to look out for the behaviors of women who are going to bring chaos and disruption to your program, right? If you hate women, then the problem becomes on you, right? That's what hate does. Hate becomes a you problem. Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't want us to operate that way because that's not the goal. The goal is to highlight behaviors and to learn to avoid those red flags. Shout out to King. He says, Raul comes with the receipts. Yes, he does. Always. I missed the part where how is that any of your business on who black men choose to date and stay in your lane? Plain Jane. I agree with that. I love Please Act Right. I hated the video of black women saying protect black women no matter what. Shout out to Pop Smoke and Ghost. He said these. Yep, it's right on. So we're going to get into the next video, you guys. Again, we're going to keep this train rolling tonight because I want to leave the ability for us to be able to discuss this in more detail tonight. Again, if you leave any type of super chat tonight, I will get with you to send you a free bonus guide tonight, or one of the bonus guides from my new book, absolutely free, for whatever donation you want to make.
I don't even think that 90% of these women go through half of the crap that they are complaining about black men about, but they don't understand the detriment that they're doing when they're doing this. it's a wave right now, and I don't understand why. Because black men are the only demographic that you can get online and say. And I've watched a couple of different of these divester women
Sprinkle,
that call black men
sprinkle.
bullet bags, that we should do post abortions. When you have black sons, that you don't bring any value to the world. It's one YouTuber. Her name is she is the worst. She is the worst.
Do y'all know which one that is? Y'all guess which one that is? I have no clue because I don't typically watch those channels, but they do tend to pop up here and there, right? Especially on social media. But I think it's real sad when you have these women who were talking about deleting black male babies because of somebody hurt them. You know what I mean? No matter how much, I don't have any discontent or hate in my heart for any group of women or people. I have a problem with people who are who have bad behavior. I have a problem with people who basically want to force their behaviors upon me, who want to tell me that it's raining and what they're really doing is pissing on my head. I have a problem with people not highlighting the behaviors, but want to highlight their hate and disdain. That's a problem. That is a problem.
She said one time that she finds it sexy when a white cop is beating on a black man.
You see how harmful that is? I would never say that. Plus, if I said that, if I reversed that, I'd be canceled yesterday. Y'all be putting me in the category of fresh and fit and the Tate and oh man, hey, Sean got canceled because he said something stupid. But I don't even feel that way, man. Like, how do you have that much hate in your heart that you would want to see anybody getting beat down unfairly, and justly, particularly a black man, by the law? What does that say about you to have that hate in your heart? And that's why I said, don't hate these women, gents. Don't hate them. You should feel sorry for them, actually. But we're going to talk about, as we get through these videos, you're going to see where I'm going to bring this. So you're going to want to watch. So I want to get through it kind of quickly tonight. I'm going to roll through these videos a little quicker than normal. But the reason is because I want people to stick around long enough to get the information at the end of these video clips that I'm trying to push out to you guys.
But this stuff stays online, and it gets thousands and thousands of views, right? So if I say something about the LGBT community,
canceled.
Oh, I'm canceled.
Yep.
If you say something about black women, oh, you're canceled. The only people that we can just trash are black men, and nobody seems to care. I started a petition so that we can get these divestors labeled as a hate group.
Ooh, that's deep. She taking it that far? That is crazy, man. I mean, I appreciate that because it is. Anytime you say that you're going to focus on a group of people, particularly black men, and then say that they don't even deserve to be breathing, yes, you are a hate group. Yes, you are. All right. Let me set up the next clip. All right. Now, the first clip was to illustrate how you have women out there who show hate toward black men as a group. Okay. I want you to see this next video because it starts out with a woman propping herself up and other women not realizing the impact, where it came from, how it's gotten to be that we're in this situation in the first place. All right.
Women are.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't put the video up on screen. It's a rookie mistake.
Women entrepreneurs are winning. Why do you think that is?
Oh, you're not going to like my answer. One thing that they did during slavery is that they made sure to emasculate the man, right? And then make the woman powerful. And the reason why they made the woman powerful is because primary caretakers of the babies.
Mhm.
And we're going to do everything that we can to make sure our babies live. Things are put in place so Black women can feel like they don't need a man.
So you think it's designed to separate
Absolutely.
and conquer?
You can tell when there's not a father in the household.
Absolutely.
The kids carry themselves
Mhm.
a different way. And you can see that they're lacking something, especially the boys.
Mhm.
This narrative about being this independent Black woman,
Mhm.
because you never hear another race say that. We need to get rid of that narrative.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be one person over the other.
Yeah.
You should be working
Together.
together to build.
Yeah. That's really the reason why we're doing so well.
Yes,
They're promoting it.
they're promoting it.
And I think word is more palatable.
Right.
You know, Black men, they're more their competition.
They are, and they are not afraid to speak their mind. So all of the grants, all of this stuff for Black women this, Black women that. What about?
All right. Yeah, that ended. But the point being, there's a couple things I want to highlight. There was something that I watched recently, was part of a Malcolm X documentary. And if you remember, one of the speeches that he gave talked about how important the woman is, because the woman is the first teacher to the child. All right. So when Black men were, beaten and buck broken and all these stuff like that, the woman would see that in order to ensure the survivability of the children, she had to instill that fear into the kids. Every generation was teaching the next generation on basically how to deal with their masters. And so fast forward, we used to be one of the most married groups when you talk about Black men and Black women in the United States. And then right around the 1960s, right around the girl power movement, and you also had the onset of different contraceptives and stuff like that. That is about the point, the starting point, where you started to see the decline in the Black community. And there's things, I just brought up a video. You've checked the video on my channel. I talked about the movie The Color Purple. Again, we used to laugh and jest, and there's all these quotable moments, right? Like, us as a people, we love to quote some movies. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many quotable moments in that movie. But when you look at it through the adult lens, right? When you look at it through your adult mind and you realize how divisive that movie really is, how the narrative was structured starting in the early 80s to make it seem like Black men were oppressive to their women. And I'm not saying there weren't bad Black men out there, and I can't say that there weren't, Black men that didn't take care of their kids and stuff like that. But you got to understand that all of these things are byproducts of a system that was put in place to do it, which is what the lady talked about. So again, I want you guys to think through that lens as we go through these video clips, because I am trying to build a narrative. Again, my goal isn't to crap on Black women, but to show a progression of what we know from the past or what we know now to the real culprit here. Okay. I'm going to try to run through a couple of these comments real quick. Again, I'm not going to be able to do that as much tonight, so I'm sorry if I missed some stuff. Press says, why marry loveless monsters who want to see you slaughtered? King says, I got no warning from YouTube the other day. I got a warning from YouTube the other day for bad speech. I have no clue what they're talking about. I might touch the nerve or two. It might be insulting, but it's never hateful. Yeah, I hear you there, King. That's jacked up. These are no longer our women. They're raised as government products. We'll get back to that Pop Smoke. I can never truly trust a woman that claims she advocates for men because not only is there a lot of chameleons out there, but they advocate against the very same things that benefit them. I totally understand what you're talking about, Ennis, and I can understand your apprehension, but I would also tell you that you have to be smart, right? When you have enemies out there, you need to be able to use whatever tactics. Like one of the things that changed some of the wars, right? Remember back in the day, they would have wars, and then basically you would have the two armies, and they would face each other on the battlefield, and then basically they just would send wave after wave, and that's how they would fight. But they would like shoot their muskets in a straight line, and then the next rank will move back. They had already charged up, they shoot theirs. There was this very, hey, you're gonna stand, and if you get hit, you get hit. If you don't, you don't. But then what changed war after that was guerrilla warfare tactics, meaning that we're no longer going to just stand right in front of the enemy. No, we're going to ambush them from these trees, or we're going to strategically take this position that is out of the way that they can't see us to take them by surprise. War was changed ever since. So to say that you are not for these men advocates, they will reveal themselves. There are some that are out there that are men advocates, and they reveal themselves all the time. But you got to listen closely. But nothing will change unless you have these women advocates that are willing to get on here and women hear them. And these women have to be brave because women operate in groupthink. Okay, women operate in groupthink. So they need enough women who agree, hey, we want traditional men. We want to be traditional women. And if you don't agree with us, that's on you, but your behavior is unacceptable. You need allies. Okay? You need allies. And sometimes you need the most unlikely allies in order to win a war. Anyway, that's a little history right there. Plus, says King, that is exactly the problem on YouTube. You can't even express yourself without those losers getting their panties in a bunch. Pop Smoke said there was also a way to destroy the black family. We'll get there. You bring up some great points, Pop Smoke. I distanced myself from our community 3 years ago, and life couldn't be better and peaceful. I get you, bro, and I know some guys out there feel that way. I would dissuade you from totally giving up, but I can understand how you can get there. You know, I just have a thing with life that you take people on their individual merits. You don't assign and stereotype based upon a group, because those stereotypes are harmful. And especially like I did engineering, okay? And I remember when I was going through these schools, and, you know, there were like white people that were from like Minnesota or something, or, you know, yeah, Minnesota, right? And I'm the first black person they ever met. So that person could have categorized me as being like every other black person they've seen on TV, right? With all the stereotypes built in. Instead, that person got a chance to meet me in person and got to hear my experiences, right? I grew up in the hood, but also I was also educated. I also played sports. So, I also did well in school. So I did well in sports. So I was able to change that person's narrative because they only knew what they saw on TV. So I don't like to lump people all in one group because that's unfair. Take people on their individual merits, not just assign the whole group. Now, we can assign generalities, but if those generalities are not coming from a neutral source, then you set yourself up for being fooled, right? Okie doke. And it says, simps, stepdads, weak-minded men, toxic masculinity. These things actually benefit the modern-day woman. I don't mean to play devil's advocate, but why? What dog do you have in this fight? I hear you, brother. Some of these women just want to grip for cash grab, man. We're going to talk about some of that stuff here in a little bit. So please bear with me because we are, again, I like to highlight behaviors. And we're going to get to the behaviors, right? But there's a deeper thing I'm trying to get us to, okay? I don't trust male advocacy out of anyone else's mouth outside of another man that's lived life. Iron sharpens iron. I like that. Still Saint, shout out, brother. It was the OGK Kevin Samuels who said welfare in college did what generations of slavery couldn't. Oh, he did say that. Shout out to Desh Pradesh. He said, good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Shout out to you for being here on the live stream this evening. Still saying, what up, bro? Okay, that's some what up there. And when I say benefit, I mean that in terms of power dynamic. A lot of these modern women get a kick out of being in a position of power. That's why they ain't for simps, weak men, etc. I hear you. There are 3+ billion black women outside of the United States. That's another point. That's why you don't want to generalize a group, because the women in the United States aren't the only group. He said there's 3 billion black women outside of the United States. Let me throw some numbers out there for you guys. There are only like 300 to 330 million Americans in the United States. Black people as a whole, both black men, women, and children, only make up 13% of the population. So that the women that you see in the United States is such a minuscule part of the wider collective of black people. And as Pop Smoke brought up, in the world. So that's why these generalizations can be harmful. It's harmful to your brain to think that the only type of black women are out there are the ones that are here in the United States. All right? Make no mistake, TSG, they are only changing their tune because of the passport bro situation. They are so desperate they are following the men to the other countries. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit too. All right, you guys are shouting at each other. All right, cool. Let's get to the next story. Now, this is going to be one of my favorite stories of the night, even though there's a lot more video clips I have to get to. So please bear with me. We're already at 32 minutes. I have a lot more clips to go through. So I'm going to let you guys talk amongst yourselves, and then I'll stop a little bit, catch a couple comments here or there, but we need to run through these. This one is one of my favorites, okay? I love old people, man. I love the wisdom that the old folk used to drop on us, man. I miss being in New Orleans. I miss sitting on those stoops. I miss having those conversations with the old folk, dropping knowledge on you. And it's funny because you had to listen back in the day. You sit your little tail down right there. You're gonna listen to what I'm telling you. You're gonna live what I'm gonna tell you, okay? All right, I ain't gonna tell you again. You're gonna sit right there and you're gonna listen, okay? Now, this is somebody's granny who's gonna be here in the kitchen, and her granddaughter or grandniece gonna say something to her. And they're gonna have a candid conversation. I want you to pay attention closely to what this old lady has to say to her, and the type of wisdom she drops on her, and the type of wisdom that she's gonna drop on us. Without further ado,
to have a long-lasting relationship and an honest relationship with your partner.
Like that. Live like your grandmama and your granddaddy.
I can live like you.
You see how your grandmama and your granddaddy live? Live like them.
You don't get relationships anymore.
Yes, you do. Because it's in your blood. It's in your blood. Your blood comes from them.
hold on, I'm sorry to stop this, but this is something that I tell my daughters all the time. When they tell me, oh, I can't do this, or, you know, they want to feel sorry for themselves. And I'm the first one. I just had a conversation with one of my daughters the other night. And I said, I don't want to hear no excuses. You know what I mean? There's no time for excuses. I've given you everything that you need to survive. Even though I didn't get a chance to always spend time with my daughters because of dealing with my ex, the point is I always drop knowledge on my kids when I got to see them and when I was on the phone with them. And I told my daughter, I said, everything that's in me is in you. Everything that is in us is potentially in our kids. Just like when you have a group of animals that survive, that knowledge resonates in their DNA. And they're able to pass that knowledge on through their DNA to the next generation in order for them to have within them what is necessary to survive. The problem is in our DNA as we speak, the way this culture is here in the States. This culture is such that we are passing some of the most negative traits down from generation to generation. And if we aren't willing to correct it, and we aren't willing to do the work, we will perish. There's a scripture that says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. That's what we're seeing today. Let's get back to this video clip.
You too. And me. See what I'm saying? Now you got that fight spirit for me. If you got it.
I got it. Well, how about you help me find a husband?
Huh?
How about you help me find a husband? I need me a good old one. I need him about 60 years old.
That's all. It doesn't matter. It ain't the oldest. It ain't the youngest. It's the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the oldest, Amber. It's not the good-looking one, Amber. It's not the one got money, Amber. It's the one honest.
And not too many of them honest nowadays.
Oh, yes, you can.
You see how she went straight to there aren't any honest men out there? How this narrative that there aren't any good men? That's the first thing they run to, that they aren't any good men. Yet and still, I swear, if you scrutinize and look at the type of women that these men, the type of men that these women date, I promise you, they saw the red flags and the flaws in the beginning. They just chose to ignore it. Let's get back to this woman.
Yes, you can. There's some good men's out there.
I love how she said there's some good men's. Them good men's.
But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women going bad.
Oh, Granny just dropped the mother load on this woman. It ain't the men's, it's the women's. Not the men's, the women's has gone bad. What that was in that Rick James Charlie Murphy skit? The milk's gone bad. Man, Granny said it ain't the men, it's the women. Why would she say that? She a woman. Let us see what she about to say.
The women's going bad. It ain't the men's now. It's the women that are going
Wow.
bad.
You gonna flip the script on us?
You see, I don't want to take no responsibility. Instead of saying, well, why are the women bad? She didn't say that. She got defensive. She got defensive first.
It's the women that are going bad.
You a woman yourself.
You see how she brought that up? I told you.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That means the men don't respect them.
Oh snap. Oh snap. Great love and effect. She said the stuff that these women's are doing, the women's are doing. The men's don't respect them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Granny dropping truth bombs in here, okay? Let's listen to a little bit more.
That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect.
Gents, let me yeah, Preston said bars, Granny. Let me put that on the screen. I'm gonna give you bars, Granny. let me say something to you guys. Even when these women have a good man who does everything they claim they want, it's not good enough. And I've shown you guys on this channel that these women will divorce a good man who is actually helping out with the domestic work, who pays bills, who takes care of them, who works his 9 to 5, or he even has a good job. But if he's boring, if he doesn't provide her with this fantasy ass lifestyle that she sees all of her friends and all of these women on social media going through, thinking that she's better than the other woman, so why can't she have it? Comparing herself to the Joneses next door, looking over the gate to seeing if the grass is greener on the other side, and they do not respect a man who does all the things that they claim they want us to do. They don't respect it. So when we see that, how can we respect them? Go back to what Genuine said earlier. Genuine is so disillusioned by black women that he's like, I'm done. I've been done for 3 years. Men are losing respect for these women because they don't have respect for themselves. You can't tell me women who are willing to willy-nilly sleep around with every Tom, Dick, and Pookie respects herself. Her most valuable gift, which should be what she can give to a man, but when she comes in, her inherent value, the thing that all men be looking at, she is willing to give away her precious flower to men who don't deserve it. Let's get back to this. She almost done cooking.
You know what I'm saying? You got to give your husband respect to get respect.
Man.
Because as long as you respect him, ain't too much he gonna do wrong. It ain't too. The reason
I'm so sorry that clip ran out when it did, but as y'all stated, Granny dropped bars, okay? Granny dropped bars. Possible says, never go for the woman you like. Choose the woman who like you. Man, you know what? I always say that too. I agree with you. Of course, respect is a two-way street. It's not a one-way alley. I agree with that. Amber is not going to listen to this. She wants that social media clout. But this is advice is pure gold. Still saying I added that. I hope you don't mind. Pure gold. Shout out to Manosphere Highlight Daily for that one. My kind of woman. Granny looking like a young Tinder to me now. If she don't submit, she got to get. Oh my God. Man, y'all is dropping serious bars. Shout out to Rando Ganja for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget Jody's Ray Ray Cook. She roasted that chicken head. All right, I told y'all I got a lot to go through tonight. Granny dropped bars, man. I'm telling you right now that is impressive. Now we've already seen me critique this video on the channel. So I'm not going to play the whole thing out. But I want to play a little bit because I want you to listen to what's being said and I want you to see the mindset. This is what I want you to keep in mind. Please bear with me. Even if you've seen this before, I need you to bear with me. Look at this next clip in terms of the mindset. I'm not going to rehash the wheel again, so I'll let it play out to where I need it to, and then we'll talk about it on the other side, okay? Shout out to Ham's Flight Kit Box. What up, my brother? How you doing today? I watched your video the other day, man. Look like you got some good produce there. Say produce, but you got some good product there from your birds, man. That's pretty awesome. Look forward to what's going on when once those things start to hatch and mature there, bro. Let's get to the next video.
Now we got to come to terms of agreement. That's the whole point.
We're going to go back and forth all day. I don't agree. We're not going to agree. And so we can't never get out of that stage.
I'm going to tell you how we can. We don't have to agree on opinions, but we have to agree on the facts. The fact of it is we're disjointed in the worst way we've ever been.
And another fact is that we love black men. Like, I hate the idea that black women don't. That's why so many of us are single. have so many black women that are single because we don't want to date outside our race. We don't. Not really. We will if we have to. We want a good black man to show up and do right, whatever we consider right to be. How about
Whatever
that?
y'all consider right to be, or what we consider right to be.
Not cheat, be faithful. I mean, be loyal, faithful, like normal ass shit. Not.
Wait, sorry, I'm gonna stop it right there. You notice what she said? So I love, shout out to Richie Mack, shout out to the channel Zoom to Thailand. It's my brother Richie Mack over there doing great things in Thailand, showing us a different way. But the one thing I want to highlight about what was just said, let me just back that thing up real quick. Just hear me out. Because she said something.
We have to. We want a good black man to show up and do right, whatever we consider right to be.
Whatever we consider right to be. Now, let me ask you something, you guys. How you gonna go ahead and listen to what someone tells you what they think is right when they all ass backwards? Like, y'all know what, you know, that the thing about the lemmings, where lemmings will follow each other into the pit, right? The whole lemmings following each other. Why, if you are operating in chaos and disorder, am I going to want to follow what you got to say? And let me add something. If I'm a man who has worked on myself, has been grinding, working to be the best version of myself, why am I going to listen to a woman who ain't got her crap together or who hasn't proven that? And even if she does have it together, the fact that she can't listen to her man when he's trying to tell her right, when he's trying to tell her logical facts and she don't want to hear it, she wants to listen to her subjective facts, not the objective facts, okay? Why am I going to listen to that? You have to respect my feelings. Anyway, I don't want to rehash this whole video. I want y'all to hear this, though. The mindset. Keep that in mind.
Whatever y'all consider right to be, or what we consider right to be.
Not cheat, be faithful. I mean, be loyal, faithful, like normal ass shit.
That don't even matter. Even when you faithful and stuff like that. I recently put out a video called 15 Minutes of Women Cheating. And you guys could watch that video and you can see you had women that just didn't care. You had women who was like, well, you know, I didn't mean to, but it just happened. While they're giving attention to other men, all of the things that women complained about with men, about how men are bad and how men used to go out and run, it's like these women are trying to make up for it. Well, men did it back in the day, so we gonna do it now. There's an old saying, and I'm gonna steal this one from the 5 Heartbeats. Y'all know that movie? 2 wrongs don't make it right. Right? 2 wrongs don't make it right. All right? So that's what it seems like.
Cooking, cleaning?
Well, it depends.
It depends on what?
Yeah.
It depends on what?
It depends on everything. It depends on, I guess, whatever roles we decide that we want to have in our relationship. Because I don't believe in traditional gender roles.
Stop right there. That's all I need. Cut it, clip it. Let me put myself back up on screen. That's all I wanted. I don't believe in traditional gender roles until it benefits me. That's when I believe in them. Oh, you're a man, you should do this. You're a man, you should pay for my meal. You are a man, you should open my door. You are a man, you should be getting my nails done. You are a man, you should be fluting me out places. You are a man, you should pay for everything. A woman shouldn't have to do nothing but sit back and be able to enjoy and live her best life. And you are a beast of burden. You need to continue to work to make me happy. Who cares about your feelings? But we don't, you know, you need to be a traditional man. Well, what if you do this? I don't have to do all that because I don't believe in traditional gender roles when it comes to that. I don't believe in that. I should be able to go make my own money. If I want to go out to the club every night with my girls, I should be able to do that. I should be able to do that. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. All right. This next round of clips, right? This next round of clips that I'm going to put you guys through this was the first one. This is the kickoff, the mindset. Now we're going to see some of the expectations that modern women, particularly Black women in our community, have of men. Two wrongs don't make a right. Just wanted to sing that again for y'all. Sometimes I want to sing.
I wish women really understood nowadays how horrible we present.
Everything my good sis said in this post is absolutely accurate. We as Black women in general have to stop lowering the value of our men to money. Yes, money is important. Yes, we need it to live. Yes, all of that. We are capable. But if all they see is a whole bunch of women online all the time talking about their money and not talking about the value they provide, not talking about how we can lift each other up, how we can be a support system.
They don't care.
And it's a two-way street. There's rhetoric on their side that is toxic and nasty too.
There is. And that's why I always try to knock that noise down. I don't want you guys to hate women. I love some women's. I love women. Listen, I didn't address this on the channel, even though everybody got a bunch of views putting out Cat Williams videos. I didn't want to do that, okay? First of all, you guys don't seem to respond when I put, talk about stars as issues. You guys have spoken enough. I'm tired of those videos failing because enough people don't want to support it. But let me say this about the Cat Williams interview. Even Cat Williams said in that interview that he would rather the company of women to men. And I can't blame him. Y'all know, you can look in the background, right? I'm a retired Navy chief, man. I was on submarines, okay? And guess what? Submarines now are kind of integrated. Women have started to now be able to serve on submarines. That was not the case for the majority of my career. And I've never served on a submarine with a woman, so I don't even know. So when you have to share a space with a bunch of dudes for that long of your life, man, I loves hanging out with some women's, right? You guys got to realize something. As much as you guys want to be like, man, I don't even want to deal with these girls. I don't want to deal with them. If you don't sharpen your skills, son, you're going to atrophy that. Like, listen, when I left the military 6 years ago, when I retired 6 years ago, I was able to dunk a basketball. Even in my late 30s, I could still sky over people and dunk a basketball. 6 months after I got out, I could barely touch the net. I was grabbing my shorts. I almost collapsed on the court, man. 6 months of not using it, I lost it. And now, hell, I went to Mexico, and the only thing allowed me to swat these Mexicans' balls out of the air when I was playing basketball was the fact that I'm 6'3" and a half, 6'4", right? And they short. So I only had to jump this high off the ground to make it happen. If you don't use the skills of communication to be able to talk to people, talk to women, it will atrophy. And then you're going to come off as weird and awkward. I'm not saying you have to go talk to women for the sake of trying to deal with them, but talking to people is a skill. And if you don't use that skill, gents, again, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Let's finish this out.
I want us to heal our community. I want us to be better as better partners, friends, the whole nine. So let's stop lowering our men to monetary value and judge them with their true character.
That's what I've said every time on this channel, man. Modern women today are not interested in the character of the man, but only the content of his wallet. And that's a shame. All right? Now, in one clip, we showed this rebellious spirit, this mindset. This last clip, we talked about women valuing money and what a man has over the content of his character. This next video clip is another mindset that women have, particularly black women, actually all modern women. I don't want to put that on black women, but since we're talking about our community today, today's a community discussion. I want you guys to hear this. And whether you black, white, yellow, whatever type of man you are, you've seen this. And this mindset is crazy.
Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. The researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who...
Dating down. You guys may have seen this video before.
We're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job. Really career-driven.
I'm going to stop it right there. I'm sorry to stop it and pause it right there, but let me tell you why I'm stopping right there. The focus is on themselves, on their career, not the family, not the community. This community that we talked about in the beginning of this live stream. Oh, well, black men are leaving out and stuff, and they hate themselves and blah, blah, blah. It is never said when the women start to think like this. Nobody, yes, girl, you a queen, you slaying it. We're more educated. We got more than the black man. Why should we have to deal with them? He should come up on our level, blah, blah, blah. All this rhetoric, right? All this talk, all this chit chat. Okay? All of these things. They focus on all this stuff until that clock starts ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Till that clock starts ticking. And then you are the problem. Why are you playing games? You should want to settle down now. See, that's what's wrong with you. You immature. We don't have that same clock limitation as they do, and I don't think they realize that. And if you are a man that keeps care of yourself, baby, if you are a man who follows the principles in my brand new ebook that I just put out, link is in the chat, link is in the description. If you are a man who follows things and keep your temple right and keep your mind right, you got time, baby. You got more time than you think. Will you be able to get the same amount of attention as a man as you did as a young man? Probably not. But man, tell you what, if you get older and you take care of yourself, man, men glam up. Don't believe me? Look at the hottest or the sexiest man alive in these magazines. They always tend to be men in their 40s. Why is that? Why is it that men in our 40s, when we take care of ourselves, when we do right by ourselves, then we glow up, we glam up, baby. It's our time to shine. But yet and still, we have to be on their time. Again, it's the selfish mindset, right? I hear you, Preston.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down. What is that about?
And it's funny how, we have a world where women can thrive in careers just as much as men do, but men are being punished for that.
All right, my white chocolate brother there dropped a little tidbit on us at the end there. All right. So as you can see, another issue that we have is that women like to throw all their accolades in our face. Yet when men used to do that, they'd be like, why are you trying to put me down? Why are you trying to throw in my face what you got? Why is it that I'm devalued because you're working? And you will have some women bold enough, one of my exes, both of my exes, to make it seem like I needed them. They did not work, but I needed them. Make me feel bad for having a career and taking care of them like they're doing what's equivalent to what I'm doing. No, you have your own job, and that job is to raise our kids. That is a very important job. But our jobs aren't equal. They are necessary in order to keep that family unit intact. And obviously you can tell both of them didn't make it. So, you know, I was doing my job and it wasn't enough. Okay. I got to fast forward this to a certain point because there's a bunch of talk, but I want y'all to hear. Hopefully I fast forwarded far enough. Okay. Now, I want you to listen for this discussion about social media, how social media has permeated the mindset of the modern woman today in this discussion, okay?
With the prince.
Yeah, I'm not in your bag wage, period, first of all. People have to understand what their bag wage is. Stop being enticed and looking at these women that are like, social media, this is all filter. We're all in a filtered world. Everything is a filter. This is not a real situation. Everything that you see is somebody living their lie, showing their lie of their everyday life. Like, we don't know. You're not there with this person. You don't really know if they have this much amount of money, if the car is rented, if it's not, if the house is paid for, if it's not. We don't know that. But this is an illusion that we're following, and we believe in that because it's what? Instagram. And then you can do the same thing. And you can know Nori and be around. It's like, oh, we could believe it because you're around somebody that's really living it. It's all called living our lie on social media. No, I'm not impressed by any of that.
I'm not impressed by it either, man. Seriously. Like, all this, I'm doing better, blah, blah, being flashy. Let me tell you something, man. I put out a community post on the channel a little bit ago, and maybe you guys remember, but it was the young man and the young lady who were deleted and found in their car. And that was down in Texas, right down, particularly San Antonio. And the dude had the grill in his mouth. His girl was like about to induce pregnancy, about to have induced labor. She was supposed to call in and never showed up. And come to find out, they found them both deleted in a car. Okay. And the dude was on social media with a big rack, big band that he was holding in his head with his grill showing, and his pregnant woman right next to him, and him showing off on social media and people seeing that is probably what got him control alt deleted off the universe, out of the world. Okay. Not everything is glitter is gold. And people who are really rich, they working. They ain't really got time to be flashing like that. If you out there flashing and stuff and spending your money, what they say, a fool and his money is soon departed. No, if you really about your paper, nobody should know. You guys will never know when I strike it big. I'm not, shout out to O'Shea, but O'Shea be like, yo, I was dusty. I'm still dusty. And he used to say, well, you know, I got a little bit more money. I'm still broke. But then he started saying, I'm doing extremely well. Now, he's not showing off. I'm just showing, for example, that I wouldn't even say that much. You guys ain't gonna know what I make. You don't need to know what I make. You don't even need to see me out here flashing. Okay? You don't need to see all that. Nobody need to know what I do. I could be sitting here a millionaire right now. You would never know it. You'll never know. I would never tell you guys. I'm never gonna be that dude. Because that ain't my goal of this channel, to sit here and be flashy and try to, you know, give you some false lifestyle. The one thing I talk about in my book is about being consistent and persistent. Okay? I talk about successful people, and they have the same traits. And it's the one thing that made me and a lot of other people in my profession successful. And it's great habits. But anyway, enough about that. She said all I needed her to say. Now, we talk about women being selfish. The modern woman today isn't willing to share these accolades. We're more educated. We're doing better than men. We're doing all these wonderful, beautiful things. And they want a man to be at their level or higher. They're not willing to work with a man. They would rather have a dude who's doing better, who's going to be a little bit abusive with them, okay? Than to have a good man that they can help build up and then to them together grow. They don't want to do the work. They want a ready-made man. Check this next video clip out. Check this out.
Y'all, can we talk about cohabitation, and can we talk about how so many women have got to the point where we're like, we don't want to live with you. We don't want to live with you. That's not what we want. And we don't want you to spend the night over here. You need to go home. You need to call somebody, get you an Uber, get you a Lyft, and you need to get on up the highway, right? Have we really, y'all, we really have gotten to this point where we are so comfortable making our own decisions, making our own money. We have our own homes, apartments, everything decorated how we are living our life. Y'all, we really don't want to live with these men no more, do we?
Now, I don't know if y'all read what's on the screen there. I'm sure you guys have, but for anybody who's just listening, this woman who said about we really don't want to live with these men and stuff like that, the comment that she was reacting to is, I don't want to live with a man or get married. He would just have to pay for the trips and dates. I got my stuff and he has his. You see how they tell on themselves? Somebody asked me once, right, one of these women, well, why y'all got to keep talking about the same stuff? Because we're going to keep exposing y'all ass and y'all retarded ass mindset. I'm going to keep exposing it. You could pay for my trips. You can flute me out. When I want to go out on a date, you could pay for that, but you stay your ass over there. Now, if you have a boyfriend or someone you're in a long-term committed relationship with, and you don't even want him to sleep over at the house and he got his own place, tell me how that mindset is going to ever lend to you all being able to take that relationship to the next step. Now, I'm not such a prude where I'm going to sit here and say that people got to be married in order to, sleep over by each other's house or to live together. I'm not going to say that. I don't care one way or the other. But I will tell you guys something, man. Given the state of dating and relationships, in 2024, you need your own stuff. You need to have your own car. You need to have a job. You need to have your own place. If you don't, I get it. You can work to get there. But I'm telling you that you need to have your own stuff. Too often I've seen men cohabitating with these women, living off of their lease, and when things don't work out, they find themselves assed out, kicked out on the street. Kicked out. Yes. All because they didn't have their own. God bless the child that has his own. And we as men have to be able to have that. Because if not, first of all, how is she going to respect you? I'm not saying you can't find a woman that could respect you on your come up, but we already see how difficult it is to find these women who are willing to work with a man in the first place. So how do you expect any woman, period, to work with you if you ain't got your own? How do you expect her to respect you? It's not to say you can't find a woman who won't, but it's very slim. It's like these women looking for this 6 foot tall dude that makes six figures, got the 12-inch ding dong down there, okay? Big pause on that one. All these things, when you put it into the man finder calculator, and this dude is 0.000 something percent of the population, it's the exact same way. So make sure you got your own, gents. Don't fall for that. You want to have your own because you want to be able to go back to your place when you can't deal with it. Okay? Now, this is a very touchy subject here in the Black community. This next video clip I'm about to play, I'm just going to play the clip. Y'all will let me know what y'all think in the comments. Shout out to Grandma Does It All. Wanda, how you doing, baby? Great seeing you here. I hope you're doing well tonight. I appreciate you being here. If y'all want to see a great family channel, Wanda and her husband are doing a great job with their boys, and to me, it's an inspiration. Thank you for being here, baby. Appreciate you. Let me get this clip up.
Breaking news, the video behind me is going viral and causing controversy. Because in this clip, the woman behind me talks about the harsh reality of being a single mother. Check this out.
I'm going to be aggressive because nobody wants to hear this. Because what you want me to say today is actually being a single mother is totally possible. It actually isn't. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one. Number two, single biggest determiner of whether a mother is a good mother, what do you think it is? This is going to blow your mind when I tell you the answer. Whether they have a supportive partner. The major argument for good dads is actually, can the dad be there for the mom? Because it's like a direct chain is what we see. What you see is that if you've got a father figure, basically, who's supportive to the mother's energy goes towards the children. But the second that she doesn't have that supportive energy, she collapses, is what happens. And then the kids get starved. And we're not actually supposed to be living in a single family household, so it's supposed to be a lot more support towards mom than just dad. But I'm going with standard societal structure. You are a victim of a society that was never meant to work this way.
Now, there's pretty much two groups responding to this video. One group agreeing with her and the other group vehemently disagreeing with her. The group disagreeing with her pretty much is saying that they grew up with a single mom and their mom did just fine and they didn't need a father. And that there are plenty strong, independent women who can be single mothers and raise, decent members of society. But other people are agreeing with her because they're pretty much saying that the people that are disagreeing with her are misinterpreting what she's saying. Because if a mom has a supportive partner, she can have more time with the kids. Because the fundamental thing between a mother and her children is time spent with them. And the single mother will inevitably spend less time with her kids because she will be working more to try to provide. I mean, which side do you agree with? Do you agree with her or do you disagree? Let me know down below.
Yes, let me know down in the comments and the chat below. Talk amongst you guys itself. But I wanted you guys to see that because you will see a bunch of women that will get on social media and say that they don't need a man, will try to raise these kids. And I meant to put a couple additional clips in here. I just didn't have enough time. I was working on some other things before I started this live stream. I got a lot more projects coming up in the future. But the one thing I want you guys to realize is that you have a bunch of women right now who are on antidepressants, who are, drunk every day on wine, basically leaving their kids unattended, basically leaving their kids to be raised by social media, to be raised by their phones and by these iPads and by the most foulest stuff. And you guys may have seen this video, but there's this single mother who's on there with her daughter, and she's singing this song. What is it called? Switch. Basically where she gonna eat him out, or he gonna eat her out, and she gonna eat him out. And she's singing that with her daughter in the post, man. Some of the most saddest crap I've seen on social media. Okay, I might even make a TikTok about it or an IG post about it when I get a chance. But the point being is, you have these. I saw a video I saw two videos, not the other day, but recently, before we move on to the next video. The first video was of a bunch of mothers who was in this little pole dancing class with their very young daughters. I'm not even talking about teenage daughters. I'm talking about little girls. And they're in pole dancing class with them. Yeah, I just said that. That's exactly what they're doing. Taking their young, impressionable daughters, some at the age where they're able to absorb this stuff. They're kids from the ages from 2 to 5. That is some of the most impressionable time. That's when you need to be putting the most education in front of them. That's when you need to try to inundate them with as much knowledge as possible. The strongest foundations from ages 2 to 5. And some of those little girls were in pole dancing classes with their moms. Can't make this shit up, you guys. Can't make it up. Second thing was there was a video with a bunch of little girls at a birthday party. Little girls, man. I'm talking about ages 2 to 6, maybe even 2 to 8. And some of the foulest music was on, and all these little girls were twerking in the video. Popping. Basically being exposed to it's adult content. This is what single mothers are allowing to be placed in the heads of the next generation of kids, whatever's next after Gen Z. Okay? These little girls are all this stuff is being put in their heads. I want you to keep this in mind as we talk about it, because we're going to get to this. Now, the other tool that the modern women use in order that is causing issues, how they are being fooled and destroying their own community, is the manipulation. And this isn't just necessarily a black woman thing. This is a thing that happens with toxic women. And that's the next video we're going to watch. Okay? Shout out to you, above, beyond, and further, for these single mothers who destroyed our children and our community. Don't even care about it. This is disturbing. And that's the way I felt about that video, above and beyond. That was a sad video to watch. It really was. Broke my heart, actually. I was angry at the same time.
Peep this.
Okay, so the thing about good men is that they're very difficult to get over on.
They are very difficult to manipulate. So I'm confused. I thought y'all wanted good men. Oh, you don't want them because you can't get over on them. You can't manipulate a good man. Not a nice guy. I'm talking about a good man. Let's finish hearing what you got to say.
So like I call myself the succubus, right? Because I can actually feed off you guys. We can all.
She just called herself a succubus. She called herself that. Man, just like that little caption says, beware of these demons, man.
Do it, by the way. Just, I know how. Anybody can do it. And the hardest people who often end up the best ones to feed off of, energetic-wise, are the good, strong men. They also have the best quality semen. They're good, strong. It's something in the spirit and everything. Them super, they don't have to be Christian, but them super like spiritual men, them. And the good ones. And it's like, cool. But it's like they got this sixth fucking sense about them that they can sense what I'm about to do. And I'm like, fuck. So back in the day when I was just doing evil shit, there were some wonderful ones that I did hurt. And, you know, it wasn't that I didn't like them, but there was also kind of a, man, fuck you for being so good. Like, why are you so good? Let me break you so you end up like me. But then also it was like an annoyance, kind of like, God damn it, why won't you just do what I want you to do? Because they were too smart to do what I wanted them to do.
Bam. Right there. Right there. That woman gave away the whole playbook in that one little video clip. She called herself a succubus. Basically, she will feed off of that man's energy and drain him of his peace, will rob him of his peace. And I have said this on this channel, but these modern women, if you're not doing this, then you don't fall into this category. God bless you. But these women, these agents of chaos will come into your life, and because of the disorder and the hate that they have for themselves, because of the trauma that they have not gotten over, because they want to talk about how they're healed out loud for them to get more attention, vice healing themselves for real, actually getting the therapy they need. They don't want to go to therapy. You know why? Because therapy is going to make them see their deeds. It's going to hold them accountable. Just like this good man that they try to avoid, just like the good man that she tries to avoid, because a good man who has worked on himself, who has built himself up, isn't going to stand for that crap, because he isn't going to stand for anybody to take his kingdom down. And so when you see this chaotic behavior, he isn't going to go for it because he doesn't have the energy, and he doesn't have the patience, and he doesn't have the time to be dealing with a woman who don't even have her own shit straight, much less gonna come into my life and wreck what I got. This is terrible. Shout out, Los. Yo, Los, what's going on with you there, fam? How you doing, brother? Shout out to this brother over here, man. Good to see you, bro. Shout out to you, man, over there, man, doing your thing. Therapy does nothing against demons. They need deliverance. And you look, I want you to also still say thank you for that. But one thing I want you guys to think about is she talked about it in a spiritual way. You notice that? He wrote demons, and I think he wrote that on purpose to the creator of that clip. But she talked about being a succubus. She talked about his spirit. Now listen, I'm a spiritual being, man. I'm a spiritual dude. And there's a scripture that says, we do not wage war with the carnal, meaning the body, like the people and the things we see, but we wage war against spirits and principalities and wickedness in high places. And that's kind of where I'm going with tonight's live stream. Look, all these videos I put in a particular order, man. If y'all don't think I don't work for you guys on this channel, man, I take time to actually set these clips up in a particular order because I want everything to flow nicely so you guys can see the progression of what I'm trying to show you guys. And I'm sorry I'm staying on this one so long, but she summarized it all in this video. How she would do evil shit before. And I'm sure she still does it, and she don't think so. Oh, I'm good now because I don't put up with this stuff no more. And they think because maybe they don't take as many, corn cobs to the face that now they're a better version. I mean, they still take them. They don't take as many. Oh, I'm delivered. But we talking about this deep down spiritual darkness that a lot of these modern women have because they don't love themselves. And I know they don't love themselves because you wouldn't need to try to get so much adulation and attention from social media if you really did. Okay? Is that where it is? Ephesians 6:12. Hold on, man. Y'all bear with me, man. I'm sorry. Y'all got to bear with me. Y'all like to keep everything. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right, let's go to it. I'm not trying to put y'all on the Bible, but you got to, hey, truth is true. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers and authorities and the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil. That is not the King James version of it. That is not the King James version. That's the NIV. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of darkness. That's the King James version? Okay. I guess I hadn't read it in a while. Against the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So I had most of the quote correctly. Y'all got to forgive me. I ain't read my word in a minute. I'm a trout mouth heathen. And sometimes I forget. Okay? When you're a trout mouth heathen, you ain't got it perfectly, but I had it close, okay? Y'all didn't think I was gonna say it tonight, but I got y'all. Okay? So I already read that. Let me get to this. Single mothers expose their daughters to Sexy Red and Sukihana songs, teaching them those foul songs and twerks. Those same mothers will call men predators when they marry a younger, childless woman. You are absolutely correct, King. Shout out to you for that one. Still Saint says, get the heaviest Bible you got. Rando says, evil and proud. It's a soul eater. That's exactly why there is no person to help these people. It's just sad, wrong, catastrophe, bad. Above and beyond, say these single mothers have destroyed our children. I read that. Sorry if I'm not catching all of your comments, guys. I apologize. Ennis says, yeah, man, I was down bad back then, bro. Don't worry about it, man. We've all been there. That woman is right. Let the jailbirds and son husband say amen. You guys are on it, man. Press says, and you wonder why society is crumbling in a bloody ditch, catastrophe, hells, travesties, atrocities, deaths, wells. Exactly why the children are losing their own lives, because morons like bad influence. Thank you, brother. Dang it, Sean. I got you first, man. I got you first, Preston. I'm a trout mouth heathen. All right? All right, on to the next video. I'm having fun with you guys tonight, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button and consider subscribing and joining the channel if you haven't. We have channel memberships. I have my brand new book that I just put out a few days ago. I am telling you, if you are looking for an inspirational read, it is backed by over 25 years of helping and mentoring men just like yourselves so that we all can become the best versions of ourselves. And it has some of my most trusted workout secrets that not only help you to get in shape, but will also help you mentally, physically, and psychologically to kind of get through some of this stuff, man. Because think about it. When you break up with somebody, one of the first things that a lot of men do when they break up, what do? You go straight to the gym. Well, I'm going to teach you how to get to your goals. If you want to lose weight, I talk about how to do that in the book. If you want to gain weight, right? You want to be putting on, you want to, get up 240 like me, okay? Benching 8 plates, you can do that. This book will tell you how to be able to incrementally get yourself stronger, incrementally see these gains. And I promise you it will work if you follow the principles as they're laid out in this book. And in the process, you're going to learn about yourself and your mentality. That link is pinned in the chat tonight, and it'll also be down in the link below, okay? Check it out. Leave it and let me know what you think about it, all right? Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. This next video clip, we just heard all this stuff. But right now, we realize that women say one thing, but they tell men another thing. They expect men to do another thing while they do the opposite. That is called a double standard, and that is the next clip that we're going to discuss right here.
I have a question. How come when men take the same liberties as women, when it comes to them choosing their mental health and their peace of mind, and he decides that this woman that he's in a relationship with, that he has children with, is causing more harm than help to the relationship, and he chooses to leave, now he's deemed as being wrong because he's created yet another single family household. But when a woman gets tired and a woman gets fed up and she starts to know her worth, and she believes that this man is now causing more harm than help to the relationship, and it's no longer beneficial to her, when she leaves, how come she's not deemed to be the reason why she has created a single family household? See, it's cool when a woman does it. Black Lives Matter. But when a man puts his mental health and his peace of mind in the forefront, you're dead wrong, because you're doing nothing but creating another single family household. Is this shit not a revolving door? I'm just confused. I'm just trying to figure out how come certain liberties only apply when a woman does it, but when a man take those same liberties, it's swept under the rug. I forgot. That's because men are deemed to be providers. I forgot. And women are nurturers. Well, if you nurture that fucking bad, why would you allow your child to be brought up in a single family household? And I'm not saying stay, but I'm just curious. Call me back.
Look, that woman dropped some truth bombs there, okay? So I wanted to bring that up because I can honestly tell you from firsthand experience, man, like I've been through 2 divorces, man. And unlike the statistics that we hear from the late, great Kevin Samuels about how women initiate 70% or more of the divorces, 90% if they are college educated. No, gents, it was I who initiated both of my divorces. And I'm going to tell you why. Exactly for what that woman said in this latest video clip. What she talked about is a man needing his peace. And when he isn't getting it, choosing to prioritize himself. Let me tell you something, man. With my first ex, she was doing some jacked up stuff. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of that, right? But what I will say, I got pulled into a leadership meeting with my command, with them telling me, we know you're trying to be a good dad. We know you're trying to go see your kids. But she keeps calling the cops on you every time you get there and is basically making the organization, i.e. the Navy, look bad. And if this continues to happen, regardless if it's your fault or not, which we know it's not, but regardless whether this is your fault or not, we're going to have to take administrative action. Even possibly consider kicking you out of the military. Now, mind you, my first ex did not have a job. And she would, if I didn't do what she said or this, that, and the third, she would just call the cops on me. Because she knew that they were coming to a house and how hostile the police were going to be to me because just for being a black man. It was almost like if the cops did something to me, oh, well, should have listened to me. This is how evil and vindictive some women are. So, yes, I felt it was a duty to my children who were innocent in this situation as the sole provider of the family to remove myself from a situation that was going to cause irreparable harm in the beginning of my career. Right? At that point, I'd been in the Navy a little bit over 4 years. A little bit over 4 years when we split up. And I was just getting ready. I'm just starting to get my footing. And this woman was willing to throw it all away because she felt some type of way. Because I didn't want to do what she wanted to do. So yes, sometimes you have to prioritize your peace. Sometimes you have to prioritize what you need to do as a man for the betterment of the family, because it does you no good if you're in jail or you have a ruined career or you lose your shit, you lay hands on this woman, or you are Jonathan Major and you just, you catch her finger the wrong way, or you scratch her behind the ear, and now your whole career is ruined. Did we just see that with Jonathan Majors? Jonathan Majors is a young man compared to me, relatively. Good enough to be my younger brother. Okay? I think so. I think he's like in his mid-30s. So enough to be my younger brother. Okay? We see this. That was me, gents. 21 and a half years ago, that was me. The reason why I have this channel is because I speak on these things because I've been through it. Okay? If you're not subscribed to this channel, I may not be the best. I may not be as big as some of these channels, but I can guarantee you I have as much, if not more, experience than a lot of these dudes that be talking on here that people follow. So, and I've seen it all, not just from my examples, but when you have mentored over 2,000 other men, I have had to hear their stories too. So there's nothing I haven't heard. There's not much I haven't seen when it comes to these topics. I wanted to give that to you guys so y'all know who y'all dealing with, okay? That's why the book that I wrote means so much to me, because despite all of the shit that I've gone through, I've overcome each and every bit of it. And it's because of the mindset that I wrote down in those pages. And you can't stop me. You can't stop someone who's determined to reach their goals at all costs, man. Seriously. Not going to let these she demons break me. Not about to happen. Now, this is the part of the conversation. Oh, I'm going to get to a couple of these real quick. I'm not putting my life in the hands of worthless people. Don't blame you. Exactly, dude. And you really want us to put our lives in the hands of these people? No thanks. How about hell no? You prioritize your life. I did. But I also prioritize the life of my kids, whether they can see it or not. They don't realize that there were sacrifices that I had to make. And we've had these talks after, as they got older and everything, and we could. But I prioritize my life because if I didn't, who was going to do it? Pop Smoke says, I served with the 82nd Airborne, 1995-2003, E5. Thank you for your service, Pop Smoke. I appreciate each and every one of my brothers in here. And if you serve, salute to you, brothers, for your service, right? Salute to you all, man, because a lot of people don't realize whether you're, E3 to a damn officer, man, they don't realize the sacrifice and amount of time that you sacrifice for your country, for your of your family, with your family, on behalf of the populace, of the people. They don't get it. It's tough, and it's not for everybody, okay? As you can see, that's my chief box in the back there. That's my chief plaque right there, okay? So I've led men, man. And I've, even as a chief, man, when things were going on with my second marriage and I broke for a little bit, I broke. I almost ruined everything. But I can tell you, I redeemed myself. And this story that I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not going to tell y'all. It's actually going to be a part of my next book. And I'll go into detail about that story. So I plan to start writing this book soon. Starting next month, I'll start writing that book. And my goal is to have that book out by my birthday in April. So look out for it. Okay. I'll let y'all know ahead of time. And that book, just to give y'all a little about what it's about or going to be about, is really about appreciating the fragility of life and how we're here one moment and we could be gone the next. That's what that book is about. How I've overcome obstacles. And that next book is going to be my personal stories. That powerful stuff, man. I look forward to writing it. It's going to be a little tough. I might not even be able to get that book out by April because it's a lot of stuff. But all right, gents. Now this next video clip is a very old clip, okay? The reason why I am putting this clip next is because I've built this narrative up over the last hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, if you will, to get to this point. We see what is going on with the behaviors of modern women. We see that on everybody's channel. But these last clips is we have this divide between the black man and the black woman. We have a rift in the black community. And we need to understand and look at some of the origins of this rift. Where did it come from? I played a video earlier about some of the stuff, where it came from and how pervasive it is, and basically how much of a cancer it's been to the community. But we want to look at a conversation between, I know she has I know she, I say famous, but she was famous in circles as an orator, but she was talking with the great James Baldwin, okay, who is an amazing orator himself. And you guys may have seen this type of clip before, but I want to play it. And I want you to listen to this discussion and particularly what this woman is going to say. And I am going to show you and tell you at the end of it how it is pertinent to what is going on today. Without further ado.
I love you. I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course.
All
Of
right,
course
I
you lie to me.
accept
Because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat
You
him the way I
must.
treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell because I love you. I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man?
This is pure gold, okay? Again, I'm still in from Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to that channel. The reason why I thought this was a very important clip to put in there, listen to what she said. She said, lie to me. Not talking about you going out and sleeping with another woman, whatever. She's talking about you are out there battling the world as a man, particularly in this case as a black man, but you out there in the world battling as a man. And what she's saying is you come home and I catch hell for it because you out there battling them. Why is it you can go to work every day and smile up in your boss's face, even though you don't like him, but you faking it with him and you giving him the best attitude. And when you come home to me, you take that anger and frustration out on me. Why is this so pertinent to this discussion, gents? This right here is pertinent to this discussion because now that we see women saying we have our own money, we're educated, we're doing better than men. Now we're starting to see the roles reverse. And now that they're out here dealing with men have had to deal with for millennia, breaking their backs out here trying to make it in the world, to try to carve their way through this society. Now they're feeling the pressure. And so now you have these women out here working like men. What happens? They come home, and what are they doing? The same thing that she complained about in this video is the exact same thing that women are doing to men today. They will smile up in that boss's face. They'll give him them pearly whites. Yes, yes, that's right. Yes, they're going to smile for him. They will do what the boss says without question because their career means more to them than their integrity within the home, their duty to their home, their nurturing responsibilities to that family, and particularly to those kids. But most importantly, to prop up that man. You see what she was asking for back here in the 1970s, 60s, whenever this took place. James Baldwin is a little bit older, so I'm going to say 60s, 70s. It's not the point. The point being is the same thing she asked of the man is the same thing that women today can't provide. You wanted understanding then. You wanted us to fake it till we make it then. To give you that peace of mind, not understanding what your man is going through. Not understanding that him battling the world is a struggle. And you want him to come home and smile. And I don't disagree with her. Lie about that. Smile for that. Smile for me. I'm not going to take out what this man did to me on you. You my support. I should come home and I should look forward to that. And you have to deal with your own stuff at the house. As you uplift me, I need to give you that strength to uplift you, not beat you down, but to uplift you, and vice versa. But now we see that the modern woman, now that she has this freedom that they talk about, now that she knows what it's like to be a man and dealing with this crap, she can't do it either because it's tough. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Heavy is the neck that supports the head that wears the crown. And women are experiencing it. But instead of showing that empathy that they asked for back in the day, they have none for us. They only hold us in contempt. And this is one of the reasons why our community is disintegrating. Because just like that woman said in Zoom to Thailand's video, just like she said in there, I don't believe in these traditional roles. Well, there's a reason that they're so important. And maybe if you took the time to understand why they're important by looking at the past is prologue into what we're dealing with today. And modern women don't understand that because they're not thinking about the past in order for a brighter future. They're looking at the present because they can only think about what you're going to do for them now. Very selfish mindset that modern women have today. I thought that was a very powerful video clip, and I'm sorry I ran it on about that, but I thought this was probably one of the most important discussions that we had today, aside from the grandma clip being one of my favorites. Okay? Now, this next clip has been argued by me. I'm going to get to all of your guys' comments once we get through these last video clips. That's why we have no comments of the day. That's why we have no memes of the day, because I wanted us to have time to be able to discuss these topics, but I wanted to get these video clips out first. I think this is the most important, one of the most important conversations that we've had on the channel. Again, I'm not the biggest and I'm not the baddest channel, but I promise you that I take the time to lay these out in such a way that we can see a story in front of us, that you all can see the story that I'm trying to give to you guys. And again, it's not to be bitter towards these women. It's really for us to learn and see where we've been so we can know where we have to go. This next video clip, this is something that has been argued by me on this channel. I am not going to say any more about it because I want to play it. This conversation is something that we all need to be aware of. This is why I tell you not to be mad at these women, because we have to understand there is more going on than meets the eye. And with that being said.
So I know a lot of you are very educated, right? So for the very educated, does this not make any sense? If you want to take over a society, you have to get rid of the strong alpha male. It's common sense, no? If you get rid of the strong alpha male, then you can control the feminine more easily. So the trick was always to act like they were empowering women by disempowering men. That was always the trick. And we fell for it.
Hook, line, and sinker.
We fell for the okie doke.
The damn okie doke.
We need strong alpha males. And this has nothing to do with gay people. Yes, they were part of the agenda, as were we all. I love them. It's got nothing to do with them. It's got to do with the fact that that's how you control a people. If you get rid of the men.
This woman is absolutely correct. We have to look at the bigger picture. And I think that women who selfishly think about themselves in this lifestyle, and I don't care if he stays with me, I don't want him to stay with me, but he needs to pay for these trips and he needs to pay for my meals, not realizing that they are playing right into the hands of the powers that be. They, you know, the man, whoever. Okay? They're playing right into the hands of the man. Let me tell you something. I'm going to add a spin to this. If you will allow me, gents, please allow me to add this spin to this, okay? I lost my train of thought for a second. Let me take a little sip of my drink real quick. She talked about the agenda. Okay, now I remember where I was going. I want y'all to think about something. We're in the age of what they call Aquarius. Dave Chappelle even had a special called The Age of Spin. Now I want you to realize, I tell this to my daughters all the time. I don't know what I'm doing. Did you look it up? Well, no. Well, then why are you coming to me? If you'd ever taken the time to do your research and your due diligence, come to me saying, Dad, I looked this all up. I looked A, B, C, and D up, but I don't understand. Now, I think it's saying this, but maybe it's saying that. I try to teach my daughters to research for themselves first. And then when they want to discuss it, come to me with your evidence, and then let's have a discussion. But if she comes and runs to me, expecting me to give her the answers, yet she hasn't taken the time to do her research, she has failed herself, which is why I would not allow them to come and talk to me without having done some level of research first. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the reason why I bring that story up is because we are in the most technologically advanced society, or most technologically advanced period of time that we have ever seen in human history. People have more access to knowledge than ever before. It's at your fingertips. Yet and still, we have, this is probably the most uneducated this populace has been in a very long time. How is that possible when the knowledge is at our fingertips? Now, I'm about to date myself, but I would have to go do research papers when I was in school. And this is not a cliche. I'm not going to lie to y'all and say I walked uphill 2 miles and downhill 2 miles. I'm not going to tell you all that. But I will tell you that I had to walk 2 miles in the heat because we didn't have a car until like my high school years. And I had to walk all the way to the library in that New Orleans heat. And there's something called, I'm about to get my old heads here in a little bit. There's something called the Dewey Decimal System. Yes, that's right. Instead of just typing it up and it kind of give you this whole, hey, here's all the search results. We didn't have that. You had the Dewey Decimal System. Yes, you had to find the subject, find the category of whatever your book or information was in. And then you had to take that reference and you had to go to a particular number in the Dewey Decimal System in this card catalog full of numbers. And then you took the card from the drawer and then you walked to that particular part of the library that was numbered for that part of the Dewey Decimal System. And then you had to find your book in that category of numbers, the Dewey Decimal System. We live in the most technological age, and all of this knowledge, and here's my point, gents, please bear with me. How do you control a populace that has this much access to information and knowledge? You have to get them out of the logical, you have to get them out of the thinking, and you have to get them into their id, back into the ego, right? When you are a kid, you look at the world in self. You don't have the perception of how expansive the world is as a kid. You only know things through the eyes of the id, the ego, the self. As a kid, ironically, because of the onset of social media and because of people's need for adulation and attention to overcome the negative self-worth and belief that they have and the trauma that they have. You have to revert people back to the id, where they look within. And then when you bring the man down, the women, now they rely on themselves. And when they rely on themselves, their arguments aren't objective, they're subjective. A lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women argue with their feelings. Well, I see what you're saying, Kevin. I see what you're saying, Kevin. But I feel like it's this. Well, ma'am, that's not the truth. That is not generally true, is what Kevin Samuels would say. Rest in peace to the Godfather again. And so he was dealing with a bunch of women who were in their feelings about what he was saying, vice looking at and researching the facts that he was giving them. Now, when you can manipulate people's emotions, checkmate. End game. And it's going to be a rude awakening, because a lot of these women that say they're doing better than men are going to lose their jobs because AI will be able to do it. Do you hear what I'm saying, people? I have a skill. I have a trade. With just a little bit brushing up, I could get right back into engineering if I so desired. But a lot of these modern women who think they got that cushy air-conditioned job in that office, think she doing better than you because she get to kiss her boss's tail, but won't do right by her man. She won't do right by her man, but she'll do right by that boss, huh? You notice that? Y'all notice that? It's crazy. Crazy how that boss will get all the attention, but she won't. How do you control people when they have more knowledge than they ever have? You control them emotionally. If you think about it, don't listen to what I'm saying. Objectively look at it. Think about everything that you're hearing with us going to digital currency. Think about all these things that's coming up. We're in for a rude awakening. And there's a group of modern women who think they're doing better than men, but if they don't have a skill or a trade, and they can't contribute to society in a way that's going to keep it running, keep these infrastructures running, they're going to be obsolete. So this young lady right here has it absolutely correct. This was by design. And now this is just a theory of mine. So I'm not going to sit here and say this is 100% true. But I believe that the African American community was the test platform for what's to come. See, back in the day, they used to experiment on us in the labs, and when they wanted to do procedures, they would bring one of us in, and they would operate on us medically in order to prove their theories. A lot of people died for that. Well, a lot of people have died in our community. A lot of people have died for us to have a bunch of ungrateful ass people. A bunch of selfish ass people. Our grandparents or great grandparents didn't die for us to be so selfish. They thought they were giving us a better life, and basically we're being led. We're lambs to the slaughter right now. Nobody gonna want to hear this, man. But again, I'm not the most eloquent speaker, but I'm not stupid. I do a lot of reading, a lot of research, and I don't even tell y'all half the shit I see coming. But you better beware, ladies. You better beware, gents, because it is coming. For the last video clip of the night, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I'm going to try not to stop it that much, but I will stop it if I want to connect some dots. But I want you guys to hear this. Because even though you're going to be able to connect this to what is going on and what has happened in the Black community, if you take a 1,000-yard view of this and you look at society today and you look at how people are going to schools and churches and trying to delete people, you will see that everyone in America is under this pressure cooker. But I want you to first think about it in terms of, I talked about us being experimented on in the Black community. I want you to listen to this video, this next clip, and I want you to think of it in that lens. Once we get through this video, I'll get to your comments, and I hope to have a robust discussion with you guys. Please bear with me tonight. I think this is a very powerful message and a very powerful topic that we've talked about tonight. And with that being said, let's get started.
Hey, stay one with yourself out here, family.
Just your typical nigga shit. And I'm just tired of the typical nigga shit. Yeah, what keep you focused? Like, what keep me focused is looking at the community. You know what I'm saying? It's something called the Tyrone Mays Rat Experiment. Y'all need to look that up. It's called the Tyrone's Mays Rat Experiment. It went down in 1940. He ended up getting it from another psychiatrist in 1840. It's called the Tyrone Mays Rat Experiment. And what they did was they took a few hundred rats, right? And they splitted them and they divided them. And what they did was they created an environment for both of these rats to live in. In one subject, they took about 100 rats and they put it in an environment where it had clean water. They put it in an environment where it had a right amount of space for the rats can, you know, get, basically if they wanted to be by themselves, they could. They made sure that it was good food in there that didn't have any type of poisons put inside the foods. They even gave them space to breathe, to go upstairs, downstairs. They just gave them this abundant environment, right? They put these rats in there. Mind you, these are the same rats with the same genetical molecular structure, which is nothing different. They both came from the same mama, the same daddy, the same family tree, right? So they took these rats, they put one in a good environment, then they put the other 100 rats in a bad environment where they didn't get water. If they did get water, the water actually had acids in it. They made sure they didn't give them the regular food. I think they gave them like cat food or something like that with a bunch of pellets that was inside of them, right? They stuck them on top of each other. And they made sure that the space was very, very small. They never cleaned any poop out of the maze. They never cleaned, they pissed out of the maze, and they left them in there. They left them in there for 4 months, and they watched how their behavior changed. They went back and they got the actual rats that came from the good environment, and they put them in the maze. They ended up going through the maze very, very fast. Then they ended up going to get the rats that they put in the bad environment and put them in the maze, and they didn't know how to even make it through the first section of the maze. So he like, maybe this is a coincidence. So he did it. So what he did was he switched the rats. He took the rats that was smart, that made it through the maze, that was in the good environment, and he put them in the bad environment. Then he took the rats that was in the bad environment, that was dummies that couldn't make it through the maze at all, and he put them in the good environment. He waited 4 months. Then he took them back out. The same rats that was good and smart, that was in the good environment, that he put in the bad environment, now they couldn't make it through the maze. The same rats that was in the bad environments, that was dummies that couldn't make it through the maze, he put them in a good environment. Now they making it through the maze and making it through life just fine. So he said, damn, it ain't the genetics. It ain't who these people is as individuals. It's the community. It's the environment that you put these biological entities in that changes the way they interact with their environment and with themselves. Did you know he did another 6-month experiment on the same rats that he left in the bad environment? Guess what they started doing? Killing each other. Some of the male rats started humping other male rats, homosexuality. Look, the other rats that was at the bottom that didn't have the food, these niggas went upstairs to the other rats and started robbing them for food and water. I said, damn, this sound like your typical project. Don't this sound like the PJs? This is a real rat experiment. So it made me start questioning. I had to sit back and really rub my chin.
Turned into Robin rats?
They turned into Robin, homosexual.
What else are you gonna do?
Rats.
It's a survival mechanism at this point.
Now check this out though, guys. It was a selective group of female rats, and I really want y'all to look this up when y'all get home today. Watch this. It will fuck your mind up. The female rats, they started pampering themselves. They used to let their children just do what the fuck ever. They started pampering themselves. All they was worried about
the hood rats. Which one is it?
The hood rats, right? Exactly. So the hood rats. I'm gonna quote that. The hood rats. All they did was pamper themselves. The only thing that they worried about was their fur. They worried about their weight. They didn't worry about their children anymore. They weren't worried about the mama papa rat. The only thing that they focused on was their actual cells. And then the father rat started going to other different parts of the actual rat experiment cage and started like bullying on the younger children. It was crazy, man. Look, it gets so deep when you really start watching it. It even rapists started happening. Rape with the older male rats in the community started raping the younger males and the younger female rats. Same thing that happens in the ghetto where a young girl will get touched on by their uncle, or a young male will get touched on by their uncle or their auntie. This happens. So it's like, damn, is this rat experiment that's going on in Tyrone, rat maze experiments, the same shit that's going on with us in these communities? And then you have to ask yourself, in the projects. Right. And who built these communities? We didn't build these communities. We ain't put the liquor stores in these communities. We ain't put dope in here. You got something called Russian AK-47s. Niggas ain't never been to Russia. You got Japanese SKs. We ain't never been to Japan. We got grenades that come from, we got all these different things in the community of America that's outside of America when niggas ain't never left the block. How was they getting there? This shit was set up. So once I realized, like, damn, me and my people is in a rat maze. This is a project. We are being psychologically experimented on. That's when I said, okay, this is my motivation. It's time to break the psychological chains of my people. Yep. So once I fully got myself up out of it, my whole mission is I'm going to die for this shit. Everybody that I come in contact with is going to hear this message. And my message is wake the fuck up, Black America.
I let that play out. I let that play out because before I got access to this clip, I saw one of it was a clip, but it was like an older clip, right? It looked like it was black and white or something. And you can see these plastic containers or these environments that they had these rats in. Now, I didn't know what the experiment was at the time. The dude broke it down so eloquently, but I saw the video of them talking about this experiment. So when I saw what the brother was saying, I was like, yo, I seen this before. And then I realized that this topic, I already kind of had this topic together. And when I saw that video clip, I said, this is the way I want to end the video section of this. To say this: Black women have been fooled into destroying the Black community, destroying their own community, because they have fallen for the okie doke. They have fallen for a banana in the tailpipe. Literally and figuratively. Okay? But they've fallen for it. You destroy the man, you uplift the woman, and then all you're going to have is chaos and anarchy. We are living, a lot of us grew up in that environment, in that rat maze. And it's like when they look at the maze and they see in the bad environment, they say, okay, yeah, you got all this going on, but there's a couple smart rats. Let's see what happens when we take the few smart rats that's in the bad environment and let's move them to the good environment. Now they were still thriving and surviving in the bad environment, but when you give them the opportunity, what do? They flourish. And even when you take the good rats, you put them in the bad. Yes, when you take away what someone has and you put them in a bad environment, it's enough to make you go insane. There's a saying that my uncle used to say all the time. Shout out to my Uncle Nolan. I give him dedication in my new book because he's been a big inspiration to some of the things that I've learned and some of the directions I want to go. There's a scripture that says, surely oppression will make a wise man go mad. They want to tell you that you are crazy. They want to tell you that you can't be saved. They want to tell you that you are screwed up and it is all your fault. Pull yourself up by your own damn bootstraps. Notwithstanding that you are in this environment. You are in this environment that is got you cramped and on top of each other, knowing that this has been done on purpose. The redlining of communities, the denial of home loans or high mortgage home loans that balloon and the family can't afford to pay for it. Yes, all these things, right? Putting black people in redistricting, where you put black people in a certain level community so they don't have the tax dollars in order to fund the schools to educate the children. I could go on and on. But it makes sense why we can't think straight. Why we are only looking for instant gratification as a people. Instead of delayed gratification, because we are so traumatized by our circumstances and our situations, we can't think straight. We can't do right. And the sad part is we have all this knowledge out here now that is readily available for us to see. Yet we aren't willing to study it. Again, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. And this is sad. This is truly sad. So when I see videos of these women who want to promote single motherhood instead of educating our children to be more financially viable, they can't teach them something they don't know. Yet and still, it's these same women who will get on social media and tell you that they're doing better than you. Yet don't know a damn thing about investing. They are spenders, and spenders make rich people wealthy. Spenders, consumers, make rich people wealthy. A bunch of us will buy liabilities instead of buying assets. And I've seen a lot of my people leave this earth dirt poor. Still talking about I feel my palm itching. One day I'm going to win that. Y'all ever heard that before? My palm itching. Oh, that money going to come to me. They dead now. They dead. They ain't here. They didn't itch their palm off right into the damn grave. They ain't never seen it. I talk about this in the book. You got all these people who starting these damn New Year's resolutions and they fail because they're not persistent, they're not consistent, They have no dedication. That's us. Now, I told you the 1,000-foot view. Look what's happening right now. Now, inflation has come down a little bit. We still can't feel it in our pockets yet. The gas has come down a little bit. Still can't feel it in our pockets yet. I went and made groceries the other night. I remember I used to go in Walmart and I used to joke because I was like, man, I always spend $100 when I come in here. But I'd leave with a basket of groceries. I spent $90 last night just to get a few things for around the house. And I was able to hold all those bags in my hand. All of them. So when you take the 1,000-foot view and you see how people are getting crunched, you cannot be on minimum wage right now and get a 2-bedroom apartment. Hell, some places you can't even get a 1-bedroom apartment, but you cannot get you cannot in anywhere in this country, no zip code. You can type it in the Juju machine yourself. Type it in the Juju, okay? Juju will tell you there is not a place in this country that you can live off a minimum wage and get a 2-bedroom place if you have a family. Can't do it. So my point being tonight is we don't need to be divided on this. I'm not the enemy of Black women. Not trying to be. But as an elder in the community, I will say that I am going to expose this behavior. I'm going to expose it to as many men as I can. And again, that's not for men to hate women. Quite the contrary. So that men can weed out the bad women in order to see the good women. We need to work on ourselves, not just to make some money, but when that good woman comes around, are you ready? Are you ready for her? Have you done the work? Are you ready to be the man that she needs you to be? That is our responsibility. Because you best believe that if you come into my life and I come into yours, I've done the work. And if you're not ready for a good man, a real ass dude, who's been through enough life to know what he's talking about, if you ain't ready for that realness, it's okay if we part ways. I'm good with it. It don't hurt my feelings no more. I remember being a young man, it used to hurt my feelings. Why don't she like me? Typically, it's the ones I really liked. It wasn't a problem getting a woman, but it's like, I really like her. Why can't I get her? No. No, you don't get to come here now. You don't get to come and live off the fruit of my success, the fruit of my loins, the hard work, the sweat of my brow, the work of my hands, and think you deserve a piece of this crap when you've done nothing to deserve it. You guys are dropping some scriptures, still saying you're dropping some scriptures down there, and I appreciate you. Listen, let me get to the question of the day, and I'm going to start taking comments, and we can start talking about it. We're past the video section, but I wanted for you guys to have that narrative. Okay? Question of the day. Well, that didn't work. Oh. What kind of behaviors or events have you seen that you believe or that you have seen that has gone into destroying the Black family? Let me hear your story down in the comments below. Let me hear your stories in the chat. Do you have a quick story that you can tell about something that you saw where you knew this behavior was destructive? I'll go first. when you grow up in the hood, you see a bunch of people whose parents aren't home and stuff like that. But in one of these situations, the kids were out there, they were all buck wild, doing their thing. And I remember some kids being taken away by social services. One of the saddest things. That's one. Two, when I was in the 4th grade, I remember we went away for a break. Imagine if we're going away for like the Christmas break or something. We get back, and the second tallest dude in the class, I was the first tallest, of course, but his name was Dwayne. And Dwayne looked so much older, right? Like, you know, when you're a kid, how people look older than what they are. You're like, oh, Dwayne's a bigger kid than I am, even though I'm a little taller, but he's a bigger kid. Not fat, but he was, kind of like the way I look now, right? Nice, healthy 240. Well, equate that to 10-year-olds, and you knew he was going to be an athlete one day. That was Dwayne, okay? In my neighborhood, in this one part of the hood I lived in, there was one way in and one way out. There was no through streets. You went in, you went out. One way. Well, we didn't see Dwayne come to school. And the teacher was crying, and we didn't understand. And she had said that Dwayne had been shot. And Dwayne was shot 120 feet from his door. Now, I don't know if you caught the part that I said I was in the 4th grade. We were 10 years old. Dwayne, the 10-year-old boy, a little boy. He looked bigger then, but now in my adult eyes, he was a kid. He's a baby. Hell, my babies are old enough to have babies right now. And Dwayne never made it past 10, y'all. Dwayne didn't have that father figure in the house. Mom was probably doing stuff she wasn't supposed to. Because there's no way your 10-year-old boy gets shot 120 feet from the house, even in that bad of a neighborhood. And the third thing that I saw, one of my good friends, his name was Percy. Percy was a big goofball. He was like, yo, man, yo, son. That's the way he talked, right? Percy was a little bit older than us. I would say if we were 11 and 12, Percy was like 13, 14 years old, right? He had us about 2 to 3 years. And Percy used to be like, man, great love and effect, baby, blah, blah, blah. Percy was a funny, good young man, 14 years old. And then we found out one day that someone had shot Percy in the head. And then we had my subdivision, there was the back. Now, my mom was like, don't you go to the back. And for good reason. A lot of people lost their lives in the back. And that's going to be one of the stories I talk about in my new book, the new book that I create after this one. But they shot Percy in the head, 14-year-old Percy in the head, and threw his body in the pool at one of the apartments in the back, where my mom said I wasn't supposed to be. Gents, I know loss. And I've seen the devastation in our community. You know, I've seen the people in our neighborhood that we do are crackheads. Like, I've seen it. No matter how educated I am, I lived it. I was in there. And I survived it. It hurts my heart to think about these stories and to see that we never improved from that period of time. We haven't improved since the early 90s. It's 30 years later, right? 30 years later. My stepbrother, you want to talk about environments? I got one more story for you guys. My stepbrother, he didn't grow up in the best neighborhoods. He had to be hard. He came, lived with us because he wasn't doing too well with his mom. So my stepdad and my mom worked it out, and he came, lived with us. And I remember that I had my aunts and them with me doing homework and stuff like that, taking time to instill the importance of education in my life and discipline. Even though I didn't get it at the time, they instilled some level of discipline early on. My stepbrother didn't have that environment. So I'd be done with my homework inside of, all of it. I'd be done inside about 30 minutes. They would be with my stepbrother for hours. And it got so bad with my stepbrother that my mom was like, you got to take him away. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, he was a little hellion sometimes. He would just do terrible, mischievous shit. They were always at school talking to the teachers. He'd come home and do the homework. He wanted to do the thug thing before anybody knew what a POC was. As a little kid, we couldn't be any more different from each other. Somewhere right before I went to the military, or right as I was in the military, he got himself in some trouble. He ended somebody. And my stepbrother wound up doing about 10 years in jail, maybe 8 years with good behavior or something like that. Point is, he went away for a long time. We hadn't kept in touch. We actually hadn't kept in touch for a number of years, actually. Eventually, Facebook, the advent of Facebook came about, and the only reason I keep Facebook now is to try to keep up with people from my past. And so my stepbrother hit me up, and we rapped the taste for a little bit. We talked for a little bit, and it was awkward, but it was good talking to him. I'm going to include this in my next book just because I talked to you guys about it, but I was presented with my stepbrother's obituary sometime after that, after he had gotten out and I talked to him. And I thought we were going to start talking more, but somebody gunned him down and his body just laid lifeless at the base of a tree, oozing blood. And the same thing that he had done to somebody else, somebody done to him. So please, please, please spare me that I don't have these stories. I got a bunch more. I don't even know. I might have the obituary on the computer. I don't have time to find it because I don't know which folder it's in, but I will include it in my next book just because we talked about it. Just because. He never had a chance. He was a product of the environment that he was in. And a lot of us are. We're being force-fed. Somebody got on me and they said, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, Sean. It's not the music. That's cap. Oh, it's not the music? Huh. You mean it's not just the music? I mean, they came at me. You're right, sir. It ain't just the music. It's the whole totality of all this crap that we are watching and that we are witnessing on a daily basis. It's all of it. We got to be careful what we consume. What we put in our bodies, what we put in our hearts, what we put in our minds, what we put in our spirits. We have to be very aware of what we're willing to consume. And one of the things that I'm doing here in 2024 is I'm grinding. Whether y'all like the videos or not, whether y'all support me or rock with me or not, whether y'all buy this book or not, whether y'all buy my book in the future, whether y'all do anything to support this channel, I am grinding. Because playtime is over. Feeling the time for feeling sorry feels. What's that movie, Gladiator? The time for honoring yourself will come to an end. Highness. You remember that? When Maximus told that to Joaquin Phoenix, cold ass line. Cold ass line. All right, gents, let's see what y'all talking about up in here. Press says, dude, that's just wrong. Yeah. And yes, lack of discipline. Absolutely. Still Saint says, question of the day, the promotion of laziness, lack of work ethic, and willingness to resist moral character and responsibility. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Exactly, dude. Tell Miss Independent Game, stay in your lane. Above and Beyond says, man, that's sad. And yet our people, children are still dealing with this insanity today. 30 years later, it ain't changed. If anything, it feels like it's gotten worse. It really does. And I grew up in the Boys in the Hood era. You know, the Boys in the Hood era, I was a teenager. Let that sink in. Hosea 4:6. Yeah, y'all check out some of these quotes, man. This ain't for you to necessarily, whatever you believe. But the quotes, some good life principles to put in your heart and your mind, man. It's not even a black thing anymore. It's all women now that run society. Is that bad? No, absolutely. Listen, the reason why I decided to make the focus off of just modern women in general and go to black women was because I looked at the clips that I had, and then all of the themes really just kind of brought it to the black community. But go back to what I said, on a 1,000-yard view, we're all put in this pressure cooker now, and we're seeing that we're all being cramped. So when you have these people that are against doing anything for uplifting black people, what they don't realize is they think that's like, well, they don't deserve anything, but they don't realize a rising tide raises all ships. Jesus said, if you do this for the least of me, then you've done it for me. Yet and still you have these so-called professed Christians that don't want to see nothing done for the least of us, to at least get them out of the maze, put them in the good side of the maze, and see them have the opportunity to flourish. No, they say, well, my life is crap, so why should anybody else's life be better? And what people fail to realize is that by helping the black community during the civil rights movement has led to a lot of the rights that people enjoy today, simply on the back of the people that actually had to take it up the keister, man. Attack sick dogs on them and spray them with water hoses. Those people that had to march over the bridges and had to endure the racism so that we could all sit here happy and healthy and free today, it was on their backs that a lot of people are enjoying shit that they wouldn't have gotten had it not been for the black community. Oh yes, we are the test ground for everything. I already read that. TSG bringing out the scriptures tonight. I was almost a minister, man. I thought I was going to be a minister one day, bro. And some things happened, and I knew my word, man. I'd read the Bible back to forth. By the time I was 15, I'd probably already read the whole Bible probably like 6 or 7 times. And then there was certain, if I was need to get back onto my spiritual track, I always start with Proverbs and I always go with Psalms. Those are the 2 books that I read. And for some reason, I also had a fascination with Revelation. Even though it seems scary, for some reason, I just was fascinated reading that book. Not because I wanted that shit to happen, but it's like I want to know the signs when it's happening. Let me tell y'all something. It's happening right now. And I'm not even religious anymore. I'm just spiritual. Again, I'm a trap mouth heathen. The Bible says, let God be true and every man a liar. So I know God to be true within me, man. You know, I'm not trying to push anything I believe. I'm letting God within me act through me to help others. That's all I could do, man. You know? Y'all check out Ecclesiastes 7:7. What that dude got in his head? Yeah, he had them dreads, man. This is what you was talking about here, right here. He had them dreads on there on the dude on the far right side, huh? Dude, what are you talking about? You're awesome as all 10 hells. No cap, Jack. I appreciate you, brother. And, going into investing soon. We all need to go into investing, man. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuel. PIMP. That's right. Facts, TSG. Yep, just spitting what I got to. Dude, what else is new, Sean? Always dropping truth bars. Have you seeing stars? She cannot serve two masters. That is absolutely correct. Still saying that woman. These women are trying to serve two masters. They serve their boss and they try to serve themselves, but they won't serve their man. Now, if you are spiritual or religious, then you know that the man is supposed to be the head of the woman. Her blessings come by holding up, being the neck to hold up the head. But they don't see that anymore. You can't make them see it. Getting married to these women being put through hell's lava is like Mr. T saying, I pity the fool into I'm a fool, pity me. That's funny. I like that. Shout out to Frank Tate, man. Thank you for coming through, man. You hit the nail on the head today with this one. Research or be fooled. Man, look. There, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay? Lords of the Underground said that, right? The LOTUG, very old rap group from New Jersey. He's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I never ever thought you would ever double cross me, right? Kind of messed that up a little bit, but it's been a while since I listened to LOTUG. All right. Pop Smoke and Ghost says facts. That's all I'm trying to speak on here. I doubt that the chaotic and dysfunctional women have even considered or thought about the bigger picture. I don't think they're capable. That would be too selfless. Well, you know, King, you bring up a great point, and that's why I put out the content that I put. You know, ladies, you could be angry at me for talking about these things, but I've said all my disclaimers. I'm not going to keep here and sitting here and saying all women or some women or this, that, and the third. You know if you're a modern woman or not. You know if you are a woman who are willing to do what you're supposed to do as a woman for your man. You know if you're that type of woman or not. And if you are not, then you're a modern woman. Plain and simple. It's that simple. Well, Sean, you don't understand. No. Your way ain't working, ladies. This shit has been y'all for the last 30, 40, 50 years. You're seeing more opportunities, yes. But the difference is at what cost? The cost of our kids? So you're living your best life right now, and your kids is suffering. Your kids do not have any of the tool set that they need to at least try to overcome being in the rat maze. Listen, you can say what you want about me, how I grew up in the hood where I grew up and not having sleep for dinner. But it was the tools that were given to me, the tools, the kind of principles that I put in my book, the mindset that I was given, especially the mentors that I had that allowed me to flourish and be the best version of myself, right or wrong. And a lot of the things that happened to me, the self-inflicted wounds that I've had along the way, was because of me overcoming my own dysfunctions. It's tough. Don't lose it. What happened to, let's start, oh, shit. Trying to make sure I catch. They fell for that strong independent crap, and now it's time for them to prove it. This is only the beginning of their fall, and they are already falling apart. And they're not going to make it alone. They don't care right now. But it's like, okay, y'all weren't built for that. And even if you, well, I'm okay. I don't need no man. I'm alone. I don't need no man. But our kids are suffering. That's a hurtful thing. It's hurtful to see your kids not living up to their potential. You know, hurts me to see my kids not living up to their full potential. Can't say that about my son yet because he's still of school age. But I mean, you know, he's less than 4 years from being a grown man, or from being an adult, not a grown man, an adult. So I can only do what I can do, you know. But I got a bigger purpose, and I'm not gonna let let anybody stop that. As a matter of fact, the next video, there's a video that I'm working on. It's gonna be, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be like 20 minutes of this. But I want y'all to support that. Please support this video when I put it out, gents. But it's gonna be a bunch of alpha men giving real ass advice. And it's needed. Men need to see this. And the only way we can get this message out, I don't want to just keep shitting on the women. I want to be able to put out this information. When I talked about, and the tagline for this show is live your best life. And in order for us to do that, we need to change our mindset. We need to change what we will accept. And we need to not be controlled by the emotions of these women. We need to be able to control and contain our rage, and not in a way that's going to make us fall apart, but in a way that is constructive. That's why my book that I just put out is so important to me, because it is through my fitness journey that has gotten me through some of the most rough times in my life. And I hope if you buy my book, we'll do the same thing for you too. Okay? Thank y'all for that. That Thai woman next to her was confused as hell. Yeah, you seen that on that video? All right, we're getting a little too far out. I'm sorry if I don't catch all y'all comments. I want to get to the newer comments for right now. Yeah, Preston, I know I missed a couple of comments. I'm kind of doing I wasn't going to read all the comments tonight like I normally do because we had so much content to get through tonight. So I apologize about that. But again, if you want a comment to stand out, super chat it. But tonight I'm just kind of skipping through. Okay? Those scriptures are references for what you quoted, TSG. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, listen, those things, these quotes, right? These quotes, even though I'm a trout mouth heathen, I still remember these words. And these words have been bedrock principles that have gotten me through, that allow me to stand on principle even when I'm wrong, even when I'm not the best version of myself, right? I believe that all things work together for good. I am the called according to his purpose, and that's Romans 8:28. So, listen, man, I told you, man, I was almost a minister. Now, that was like 20-something years ago. But I live with those words in my heart. Okay. Preston says, I knew a guy named Percy in Chicago growing up. He whooped this one dude ass for talking ish to him. Percy literally mopped the street with him. By the time he was done, his shirt torn badly. Yeah, man, we all got stories, bro. I'm going to get the book, just have money issues at the moment. Bro, man, it's all good. Let me tell you something, man. I have money issues right now too. You're like, Sean, you got money issues? I don't. I got money issues because I budget. Yeah, I budget. I paid myself first. And then I make sure I got my bills paid, and then I figure out the rest. If you want, let me tell you something, man. There's a book. There's a book on this bookshelf, and there's one called the Atomic Habits. So in the description section of all my videos, I curated a bunch of stuff for men, like a bunch of products for men that you guys can get through Amazon if you would like. But I curated a list that I thought would be beneficial for men. And one of those things is called Atomic Habits. And some of those things, the reason why I put books in there, because it wasn't just about buying stuff. I also wanted to arm you guys with some potential knowledge that is going to help your mindset. So a lot of these types of books is, the art of not giving a F is about, it's a mindset of life. My book that I just put out, my ebook that you can buy. Hold on one second. This book is my story, and it's basically a motivational book that is the foundation of it is how fitness and how discipline changed my life. So that's why I feel so good about this book, because it's through this book, man, that I hope that you guys are blessed. Please, if you get a chance, check it out. Okay. But while we're sitting here, the ticker right now is Elevate Your Lifestyle. Check out this current list of must-have products for men over the age of 21. Now, I don't know if you guys see my haircut, whatever, right? I just gave myself this fade, didn't brush my stuff down like I wanted to before I got on camera. But this fade, I actually did with one of the products that's on that list that's down in the description below. Here is the new clipper. It's a rechargeable clipper, right? It's nice and heavy. And I want y'all to see all of the stuff that you get with it, right? So it's real simple. You get guards like this. You also have another clipper head with guard sets like this. Bro, this thing got it all, bro. And I'm not even lying to you. Check it out. It's real easy. You change the clipper head like that. Let me show you something else that came in this, bro. Bro, it's got a shaver in this. It's got a shaver blade, man, a razor. It's got like, I'm going to show you all the stuff. But you can literally shave with this thing. It comes with a nose trimmer for especially for my older dudes. Y'all know them pesky nose hairs that we get, the gray long when they come out. Want to let everybody know how old you is? Bro, it comes with all this stuff, bro. Comes with multiple clipper blades, all this stuff. I got a bag that's in the room, and it's got even more guards and attachments. Matter of fact, it has its own blade for doing body shaving too. So like you want to shave your hair, and how like people make you buy Manscaped, but Manscaped is just to get your private regions. Well, there is a whole blade just for that, just for your body, bro. This was an unbelievable buy. Not gonna lie, unbelievable buy. And the only thing that I didn't like about this is that that little fine adjust you got to do on that line at the end. I felt like there's one blade, there's like an in-between blade missing, right? But other than that, you can cut your hair with it. You can give yourself, you got a T-blade for doing lining, whatever, right? Bro, it's got everything. Anyway, I put a bunch of stuff down in the comments, workout stuff, headphones, bags. I'm even thinking about doing a sponsorship for somebody hit me up with a sponsorship offer for like a portable radio, which I like having those because when I'm doing stuff around the house, I could go with Alexa, but sometimes I like to have me a little portable boom box to take with me, especially when I like to go out, you know. So, bro, I curated that list down below for you guys, bro. Anyway, sorry for that, but just to let y'all know, I created that list because I thought you guys might enjoy that stuff. That's the reason why I made it. Preston says, I already like the sound of that. I really do love this channel. Cool as snow in the summer breeze. I appreciate you, man. Dude, you good. I appreciate it. Didn't find it. It found me. I'm glad this channel found me. Yeah. Appreciate you, man. The sensational trout mouth heathens creeping Stevens. You probably could have been a pastor, man. That'd have been funny, right? If I'd have been a pastor. Kind of glad I didn't. My bad on the last comment. Oh, bro, it's all good. Man, you guys are great, bro. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Seriously. You should put lighting on that shirt. Oh, yeah. Lightning on that shirt. But this also can be found down in the comments below. Get your own TSG shirt. I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff, gents. I said 2024 I was going to stop playing around, bro, because I can't fund the movement. I can't fund the movement the way I'm going, man. We have got to own our own. And you guys supporting the channel, supporting the products, all these things help. Like I told y'all, I just reinvest back into this thing so that it can grow and be better. Eventually, I hope to be able to hire a team so that we can make this thing better. But right now, man, it's just me. And it's a lot of work. I'm managing 2 channels. Hell, I'm terrible with my socials, but I need to get those back better too, man. And so I got some side projects. I had the book. I got a bunch of things. 2024, bro, is the year that we need to get our shit straight, that we need to get out there and get this grind. And that's why I thought it was so, I'm glad I didn't put out that book in September. I thought everybody got their New Year's resolutions. This is the perfect time to read my book because it will perfectly set you up, change your mindset going into 2024. And if you care about your fitness, whether you want to lose weight, gain weight, look good, get bigger muscles, all that stuff, right? I'm telling you right now, that book is going to give away secrets that most people would pay thousands of dollars to get. And I've come up, anybody who know me know I've been doing this thing for 20 plus years, 25 years, working out. More than that, actually. So, all right. Anyway, gents, is that gold? You talking about this clipper? Yeah, this is like it's not real gold, obviously, but it's a nice metallic gold looking finish. It's heavy, man. It's got a good little weight on it. And when you press it, it tells you the battery percentage right there. Can y'all read that? Yeah, man, this thing is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This is low-key one of my favorite things. I don't do Christmas or nothing like that, but you can call that a Christmas gift to myself. Got the workout gloves. I already got the book down there, The Art of Not Giving a F, and there's a bunch more stuff. And if I find more products that I feel will help and benefit the gents, I'm going to put them down there, bro. I'm going to put them down there, right? Again, if I can go ahead, if we can go ahead and make this thing, if those products are a blessing to you and help you out in your daily life, it helps the channel. We grow the channel. Hopefully I can get an editor because really and truly this channel is going to be limited by the amount of time I have in a day. I've been up since essentially 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 4 a.m. What time is it right now? It's got to be like 6 o'clock. 6:30. It's 6:30. I've been up since 4 a.m. Now, I got work to do, but I'm about to be getting tired soon. So, you know, it's kind of like, it's all good, man. I'm about to grind this thing out. If it take 15, 16, 17 hours, I'm going to do what I can because I care about each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys leave a comment down in the description below. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Please, 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 if you don't do anything else tonight, at least click the link to the book and just check out the cover and what it says. You don't have to purchase now. Purchase it when you can. But the other thing I want you guys to do is look out for this video that I'm going to put out. It might be a longer video, but I swear to you, it has some of the most powerful quotes that I feel we as men and even women can learn from. But we as men, if we want to be leaders in our community, we want to be leaders among men, that we're following these quotes from successful people, because I want us to be successful in 2024. Thank you, guys. I know I normally read the comments and say thank you to everybody that's here. I'm sorry we're a little unorthodox tonight, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys that contributed to tonight's conversation. And again, look out for that video, okay? All right, gents, I got to get up out of here. I am hungry. I know you guys are probably starving. Thank you for chilling with your boy. And until next time, live your best life.